people expect that we should also do the same. Yeah? So that's why even in law, people cite cases to say, okay, how was this case resolved in another country or in another scenario? So they take the same penalty or they take the same punishment that was given and apply it again to a different case. Because what we want is to follow a specific what? Precedent. Okay? Yeah, so it can be in terms of disciplinary action, it can be in terms of wages, those people that are wages. It can be issues concerning transfer, because sometimes in organizations people are transferred from one city or one region to the other, and people might feel victimized to say, why are they transferring me? I have a bigger family. We know settlement will be a difficult thing for me. I want to stay here. I don't want to go elsewhere. Those are grievances that we basically are looking at. It can also be in terms of maybe safety. So one of the things that you learn also in HR is that we also talk about that HR are responsible to also look at the health and the safety of the employees. Okay? And this is also a very common thing right now also with what we've been talking about previously about COVID-19. Yeah? This has also become a serious issue now in organizations because we are scared about again spreading this particular pandemic. Yeah? So we have to make sure that again, employees' safety is paramount. Okay? That's why you find that many organizations were involved in spraying their offices or making sure that people have masks and they have all these sanitizers that are provided for them. But it's just to make sure that the working environment is basically safe for working. Think about also some employees that are working in the industries operating machines. You find that they have to also be provided with safety wear. Okay? Whether it's gloves, masks, and what have you, gumboots, wetsuits. What we are simply looking at is an element of safety. Another cause can also be in terms of conditions of work. Yeah, sometimes people are always maybe complaining about maybe in terms of the working conditions. Okay, so working conditions may be it's a general term. Okay, it can be in terms of the knocking off of time, how the work is done, how employees are treated in the organization. Those can simply be working conditions. Okay. So what is the need for grievance procedure? Number one is that management can know the employees' feelings and opinions about company policies and practices. Yeah? So what we are saying is that why do we need a grievance procedure? Because it helps management to sort of like get back feedback, to say how do they feel about this particular policy that we have put in place. Because if people are not complaining, it means we always think that the policies that we have put are good. Right? But what we're saying is that grievances, there is a need to have a procedure because then we are also able to know in terms of what employees want, opinions, and also how they feel about specific policies. Okay? Number two is that it also keeps a check on supervisors' attitude and behavior towards their subordinates. So as I said, that if the supervisor is the one that is treating the employees and the senior people are able to get a report maybe from the subordinates, then the senior people will also be able to know in terms of what are the management attitudes towards their employees. Okay? Again, another need is that again it helps employee get a chance to ventilate his or her feelings. Like preempting, yes. So as I said, if there's something you keep it inside, it burns and then eventually you think of simply resigning. Yeah? But usually that is a negative consequence. So you rather have a platform where you're able to ventilate whatever you're thinking of. Okay? But also it helps to build good morale and maintain a code of discipline. Yeah? So if we know that somebody is fixing and they have been reported and the corrective measure has been taking place, it means that we are trying again to promote discipline in the organization. Yeah? But at the same time also we're saying to build good morale. So what is morale? Morale is the willingness to perform an assigned duty. So issues of morale can vary in terms of that. Morale can be low or can be what? High. Yeah. So there could be some days where your coach comes in and you have a high spirits. Oh yeah, today I want to train. And there are some days where you just what? So in those days, what we're saying is that your morale is what? Is low. Yeah. In those days where you are in high spirits and you have a high willingness to perform, yeah, that is where now you simply have a high morale. So I'm basically attributing it to a sport so that you easily understand. Again, the need for a grievance procedure is also to bring uniformity in handling grievances. So the reason why we're having a procedure is because we want to have a uniform way of handling what? Issues, uniformity. So that's why I said that people can compare and say, okay, Nomsa did the same thing, and this is how she was penalized. I did the same thing, but it seems like I've been penalized different. Maybe you'll say, oh, okay, Nomsa, with what you've done, we don't want to see you on campus for the next 2 weeks. I do the same thing, and then they say, no, the whole semester. Then obviously I'll feel that I haven't been treated well, fair. Yeah. So that's what we're saying, is that the need for grievance procedure is to bring in uniformity in handling any grievances that we are facing in the organization. But also it helps to reduce personality conflicts. Yeah. So conflict is good. Conflict is also bad. In other words, conflict is a two-sided coin. Yeah, it has its bad side, it also has its good side. There are times where when you are quarrel with someone is where now you also understand and appreciate that particular person better. Yeah, because now you have that particular conflict. Yeah. Actually, one of my friends when I was in secondary school was someone that we became friends after fighting. Yeah, so we were involved in the difference, started fighting, then we got along, and then we became also best friends. Oh. So that's a good side of the conflict. Yeah, is that now conflicts also help you to understand the person better than you used to. Yeah. Okay, so what are the objectives of the grievance handling procedure? Is to enable the employees to air out their grievances, as we have already said, to clarify the nature of the grievances, what sort of grievance are you looking at, to investigate the reasons for dissatisfaction. So the issue is we want to know the root cause. That's the objective, is that we want to investigate what is causing this dissatisfaction among the employees. So sometimes people may just feel like, you know what, they're not happy working here, but you don't even know what is the source. Yeah, so one of the objectives of grievance handling is to help us also to investigate and find out the reasons why people are basically dissatisfied. Much as we said that we want to know what is it that they are satisfied with, and probably again who, yeah. So this can also help us basically to investigate the reasons why someone is basically dissatisfied. Again, another objective is to obtain, where possible, a speedy resolution to the problem. Yeah. So what it means is that once we have realized that there is a problem, so what we are saying is that we can provide a speedy solution for it. Okay? So it's an issue about pay, it's an issue about wages, it's an issue about transport, it's an issue about safety. So once we realize that this is the problem, it means that the organization is responsible to basically solve that particular problem. Okay? Another objective is also to take appropriate actions and ensure that promises are kept. So there are times where when something is wrong and you complain, then sometimes the supervisor says, no, make sure this is done, and it is not worked, and it is not done. So again, the objective is to make sure that all promises that we have made towards the employee, it means that again we have to make sure that those promises are kept and the appropriate actions are basically being conducted. Okay? So what are the steps in grievance handling procedure as we have said? What is the procedure? So I'll talk about two different procedures. The first one is that one that you can see there. There are basically 5 steps. The first thing is to acknowledge the dissatisfaction. And then the second stage is basically to define the problem. Yeah? So sometimes for you to know that you have a grievance, is first of all to accept that yes, I think I am not happy with this. Okay? And that's what we mean by acknowledging dissatisfaction. And then we are saying number 2 is to define the problem. Number 3 is to get the facts. Yeah? So is it something really true? So as I said, that okay, people are looking at that, no, there is a discrepancy. Somebody is receiving 1.6 million and one is receiving 300,000. Yeah? Maybe people are just speculating this. So we need to go and see, is this really the fact? Yeah? So we need to get the facts and then analyze and decide. So after we've made an analysis, whether this person receiving 1.6 is because of nature of his position, or maybe again we are looking at his qualification or his experience to justify that indeed this person has to receive more than this one. Okay? So that's what we are looking at, that we have to analyze and basically decide. And then later on, we need also to make a follow-up to see whether the issue has been resolved or not. Okay? And later on, is the employee happy about the way how it has been resolved, or maybe still the grievance is still there. Okay? A different process that we can also look at is there, as I've shown. It's difficult to read, eh?
Yes.
Oh, you're looking at this one or that one?
Grievance process. The one on the left side.
Yes. I'm wondering why is it showing both. Okay, what should I do now? So we have a grievance process. So step number 1 is that we're looking at that we normally have an informal discussion where within 15 days, whatever you feel like you have a grievance, it should be what? Reported. Yeah? Yeah. So the way how it is reported is that sometimes it can be in an informal way, just talking. Yeah? And no, you know what, I'm not happy with ABCD. So that is an informal discussion that we're talking about. Then number 2 is where now you put up a formal grievance. So the formal one, what makes it formal is because you have what? Typed it, right? Written it. Yeah? And signed by basically the employee. And then step number 3 is basically to review by the grievance committee. Yeah? So sometimes some organizations would have what is known as a grievance committee. Not all organizations will find maybe that's relevant to do, but some organizations are able to come up with a grievance committee. So there are 2 processes, as we have said. Either we follow this one, or we look at the first one where we're saying it starts with an informal discussion, then a formal grievance, and then a review. Okay? Or the first one, as we have said, it starts with acknowledging the dissatisfaction, defining the problem, acquiring or getting the facts, analyzing and deciding, and then later on making again the necessary follow-ups. Okay? So what's the benefit of grievance handling procedure? Is that number 1, we are saying that it encourages the employee to raise concerns without fear. Okay? So you don't want to have an organization where people are just keeping things to themselves. Okay? Yeah. So you want employees not to be scared, but to raise their concerns without fear. Secondly, another benefit is that it provides a fair and speedy means of dealing with conflict. Okay? So it might be there, but because you don't have a procedure, you may not get to know what is happening. Okay? So again, it helps to have a speedy means of dealing with any other conflict that we are facing in the organization. it also prevents minor disagreements that may eventually develop into serious disputes. Yeah. So sometimes it might start small. The misunderstanding might be there, but you feel like this is quite small. I think we're going to iron out this issue. But usually, again, when you sit down on small things, they create also a bigger problem later on. I thought Lumbani by now would show up.
That's why I was laughing. You come. What happened?
And find hope. On your own. By then. I'll be waiting on something. Okay. Another benefit is that it also saves employers time and money as solutions are found for the workforce problem. What do we mean by this? Is that sometimes some disagreement will reach where now sometimes the employee may feel also the right to go and sue on behalf of against the employer. Yeah. So before it reaches there, what we're saying is that we should try to handle it at an organizational level before it gets out of control. Okay? Yeah, so that's what we're saying, that it saves employers time and money as solutions are found within the workplace. So that's one of the benefits of basically coming up with a grievance procedure. So we already looked at the purpose is to provide a fair, clear, and useful tool for correcting and improving performance problems, as well as to provide process to assist management in handling instances of unacceptable personal conduct. Okay. So why should we basically look at the grievance procedure? Disciplinary. We're talking about disciplinary action. Yeah, so again, people need to be disciplined in the organization, and this usually comes about when somebody shows unacceptable behavior. So the issue is, how do you know that this behavior is unacceptable? It's because every organization has what is known as a code of what? Conduct. Yes. So the same also with the schools. You find that we have what is known as the students' code of conduct. Yeah. So for us to know that, okay, this person is not doing the right thing, is because we are looking at in terms of what is the acceptable code of conduct. sent a message now.
Mm.
That's why I'm not feeling well.
For my what should I
You're spoken to you like you're putting the side. It's too much emphasis for you.
Okay, it's like I don't want to snitch. It's okay, it's not feeling well.
You're not snitching. I don't mind because these things that you are doing, even education qualifications, it's for your own good. So I don't have the urge or the energy to start coaxing. I wouldn't. He came here, he knows why he came here for, and he came here for what. Yeah, so I wouldn't really get into his business that much. Yeah, because my dad was supposed to send a flash to Zim, to some lady who owns the security company. Apparently she's quite rich there, but I need to get her name and where she stays. Because then I was thinking that instead of sending it via DHL, if it's near you, then you can just tell her to come and get it from you. Yeah, so that's why I was asking when I going back to the
Is it you're rushing to send that flash?
No. It's a graduation video in a flash, because that graduation we invited her as a guest speaker. So she never had a copy, so we wanted to send her the video using a flash. We tried to send the file using we share, something like that. But I think the file didn't manage to successfully upload that thing because it was quite big. Yeah. Oh, I also told you that we had some passive from your side. Seems like a lot of Zim guys are falling in love with Malawi. Because even this lady says that she did all the registration steps here in Malawi, but she wants to open a security company in Malawi.
Okay. But I have people that are going to migrate.
Your fellow students?
They're also Zimbabweans. They play for the other team, Rivers. So it's going to South Africa and the tournament in South Africa. So they are going to pass in Zimbabwe. When you're using the bus, there's no any other way. You have to pass.
To get stuff. Oh yeah, I remember that.
I think they're going to stay in Zimbabwe for maybe 1 night, I think.
What?
1 night.
1 night only. That would be hectic.
It will be,
Then proceed.
Yeah.
No, wait for it. I'll trust you better than anyone else. Unless the person is quite far than where you are. So
where does it say?
I need to find out. That's what I'm saying, is that I want to find out. But first of all, I want to know how soon you leave it, so that I can plan well. I can send her an email and ask her where exactly she stays. Then I'll ask you, say, do you know this place? Is it closer to where you are? If not, then we'll find another way. Yeah, so the next element that we're looking at is on the disciplinary action, as we have said. And why do we bring in disciplinary action, as we have said, is to provide a fair, clear, and useful tool for correcting and improving performance problems, as well as to provide a process to assist management in handling instances of unacceptable personal conduct. And that's where I was saying is that people sometimes do show unacceptable behavior. And I said, how do we know that this is unacceptable behavior? Is because every organization has what is known as the code of conduct. Okay. So the reason why we come up with disciplinary action is to correct or improve performance or work behavior. Again, to provide specifics to employee on what they're supposed to do and how it is supposed to be done. Because the issue about discipline is something to do with the behavior. Okay? So, providing specifics, we are simply looking at how should basically this be done. But also these two maintain consistency as we have already seen. So if everyone is following a specific code of conduct, then obviously our actions and behavior is also going to be what? Uniform, eh? Yeah. So if there is a code of conduct, obviously everyone is going to follow that, and because of that, we are looking at that there will be consistency. Okay. Another reason why we also look at the disciplinary actions is simply that again because certain issues can also be what? Documented, right? Yes. Say what really happened and what are the actions that we basically took against such kind of action. So what are some of the issues that we can give examples as elements that will need a disciplinary action? So one of it can be unresolved incidents. Yeah. So maybe there's something that happened and no action was taken. Yeah. So we are looking at that as unresolved what? Incident. Yeah. So maybe there is an acceptable personal conduct and satisfactory job performance or gross misconduct, which basically there was no disciplinary action that was taken. Yeah. So in other words, that is something that is still standing. It is unresolved. Okay. So that's the first element that we can look at as what we justify or need for disciplinary action. Another example can also be whether you have heard about it, is about insubordination. Yeah? You heard about it?
Insubordination?
Yes.
Yeah.
What does it mean? It's too tired to remember. Lazy, yeah. Yeah. So insubordination is where I think I would say that a fellow subordinate basically does not follow, I should say, the instructions or anything that is basically instructed by the supervisor. It can be seen as an act of what? Insubordination, eh? Yeah, or maybe going against your boss's word. I think I can use that terminology. Yes. Going against your boss's word. So that can also be looked at as an act of insubordination. Of which I think it has also been defined in the slide where we're saying that it's a willful failure or refusal to carry out reasonable order from an authorized what? Supervisor. Yeah. So you're not willing or you're refusing to basically follow instructions or orders that have been given by your supervisor. That is seen as insubordination. And this also basically calls for a disciplinary action. So it is seen as an acceptable behavior for you to look down on your supervisor. Hello? Hello? No, I'm still in class. Christopher? Oh, can wait. Okay. So you might want to do with Christopher. Yeah, fish. Okay. I'll do that after then. about that? So, of course, those are just examples of insubordination office example, where they're saying receptionist is asked to assist a visitor and she refuses because she does not like to be interrupted. Yeah, so she's a secretary, she's a receptionist, it's her job. Yeah, and you're telling her to say, can you assist this particular visitor, and she refuses because she feels she doesn't want to have to be interrupted. Maybe she's typing or doing something. So that can be seen as an act of insubordination. Yeah. There are also unacceptable personal conduct, such as swearing at the supervisor or subordinate, vice versa. Can be the boss swearing at the subordinate or the subordinate swearing at the supervisor. That is also seen as an example of unacceptable personal conduct. Falsifying documents. You might have read about this one, the time that we are having this political chaos here in Malawi, where people were saying that they used Tipex to rub off some of the documents. Yeah. So again, that is something that we are looking at as falsifying what? Documentation. Yeah. Editing so that maybe we give out a false report. Yeah. So it can be in terms of reports, it can be in terms of work orders or any other documentation that is seen as unacceptable personal conduct. Conviction of drug possession at workplace, yeah, that is seen as basically unacceptable personal conduct. Again, missing work without leave, yeah, you just decide to say, no, I don't want to go to work today. Yeah, next day I don't want to go again. Maybe you stay for a week or 2 weeks or so. That is, again, unacceptable. And it's seen as something that needs to be disciplined, Unsatisfactory job performance. Somebody who is underperforming. Yeah? Yes. So we have certain people that, again, in organizations, they are basically underperformers. Yeah. So underperformance again needs to be disciplined in terms of how, especially when their job performance is not reaching satisfactory for the organization. So what are some of the unsatisfactory job performance? Excessive absenteeism, failure to complete assignments when they are due. Excessive errors, yeah, they make a lot of mistakes, yeah. Tiredness, just naturally, just lazy, like, yeah. Without any reason, just waking up and you're already time for the day, in advance. It's what? Too many things happen in a day. Yeah. So much can happen. Which was probably thought. You wish to sleep probably the whole day, not to see things through. And just wake up and feel everything is going. It's okay, fine, let's go to the next day now. Well,
but it's not that.
It's not. Yeah, so the day will not slip over like pages of a book. Yeah. Lost files. Yeah, that has happened to me. I remember there was a time where I took some examinations at a certain university that I was working with. So I put them in my bag, my laptop, and then I put them in the car, and then I left. Then I decided to take a quick stop somewhere because I love playing pool. So I was playing pool. Then I parked my car. Then I thought I was going to spend there for an hour or so, and I ended up spending there maybe 3 hours. It was getting dark. Then some guys decided to bash my window of the car and took the laptop back. And so the laptop was gone, including the exam. final exams. I do a final exam script in the back. Yeah. So these are serious offenses, eh? I mean, people have spent hours writing the exams and you lose them, and you find that they are gone, missing. Yeah. Nobody could believe me that, you know what, no, people stole, they broke my car, they broke the glass, my laptop is gone. So it was still seen as if I was negligent. Yeah. So these are personal things, yeah. Even if you had to tell someone to say, go and write back, the ideas that they had that day will not reflect what they will have today. Yeah, so it was really a very complicated issue, but happy enough was that the guys who sold them decided to throw away these useless papers and only take the laptop. Yeah, and sometimes, yes, we found them. The police were able to track them and find them, and then they called me and said, no, we found your scripts only in the envelopes, but we didn't find anything else. And they found some strange IDs that don't even belong to me, which means these guys stole the gifts from another person and then came also to steal from me. So yeah, be careful where you park.
They don't go home, leave your things and then chill.
Yeah, when you go home, you can't go. You can't go again. You can't go elsewhere again. From home. No. When you're home, you're comfortable. You can't make plans of leaving again. You're home. Yeah. It's very difficult. Yeah. Sometimes you take an awareness when you're already chilling with your friend somewhere else. Then you think, I leave. Obviously, the morale will not be the same. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so we were talking about losing files. Which, yes, sometimes, yeah, it can also be equipment. You don't need for that. You don't have to do that. It's for them. Wait a minute. Before I even forget, I should also give you mine. So that 10 minutes of these things. I'm not sure about it. Tuesday, yes, it's true. Apparently. Days are running out very fast.
So this name, is it Rumbani?
For him, I think it's a Rumbani. I don't know, but I think the common one is Rumbani, L. I don't know why.
Oh, he doesn't know how to use his name.
You're really picking up on me.
No, because I know because people like.
Well, probably it's just a style, something that he just personally did himself. To say, no, I'll be writing it differently. Or because it comes from the north, so maybe they pronounce it like that. I'm not really familiar with the culture out north, because he comes from the north. Yeah, so that's what we're looking at. So what are some of the types of disciplines that we can take? Yeah, this is the last part. Yeah, so what sort of disciplines can we give in an organization? One can be an oral counseling session, yeah, where you counsel someone, talk, yeah. So that can be,
Do you have counselors around?
yes, we do.
Well, what I was going to want to ask the afternoon. Maybe they're going to be ready. And then he was like, no, we don't have counselors.
I mean, for the university or out there, that people do campus.
You're out there, like,
Yes, so many. So many. You have some serious?
serious, but I would need a professional. Just around.
Any other? Okay. I'll give you a number. I'll give you a phone number. Actually, the guy, I also wanted to talk to him because I am helping another school, but it's a secondary school. They want me to help them with marketing the institution because it's new. So one of the key things I wanted to sort of help to promote is that I wanted to have like some workshops. And one of the workshops that I wanted to focus on is on issues concerning capitalism. Yeah. Of course, the other issues were on menstrual hygiene. Yeah, because as girls grow up, sometimes they don't know how to look after themselves. So what is like, yeah.
When they're still young, they receive their mentor, but they don't know how to
handle it. Yes. So that's something that we want to like do training on that so that they're comfortable and they know how to handle themselves. Yeah, and one of it is what you're saying is just psychological. Yeah, like how is school life, what are some circumstances that you meet, things that probably would affect your life, right? Yeah, at school especially, how you can basically handle yourself. Yeah, so basically we want to do like some training in that. So I am also very much of a trainer, but not in the counseling and psychological issues. Yeah. Yeah. But I will find the number. I think I have the number for the guy. Then I will let you know.
I hope they make it.
I can negotiate on your behalf. Say, she's a student, so be fair. Yeah, sure. But I hope it's nothing that you should be worried about, yeah? Huh? What's the genesis? Home, family?
Mixed up, just mixed up. Relationship, family, of course.
Not very much of a family.
School, about my career.
About the career, I don't think I have a problem with that. I have done some career guidance before, and being very much again in the education sector, I've seen a lot of students who probably pursue studies that they're not passionate about, and probably sometimes they also don't know who they are going to become. Yeah, so we do a course, and they're wondering, you say, okay, with this course, what is it exactly am I doing after this? And probably which jobs am I fit to apply for? They don't even know. So they need maybe such kind of guidance. So that one, could help. Yeah, don't mind. Yeah. I'll be actually more than happy to hear it from someone before I heard it from me. Yeah, I close to you in classroom. Yeah. So, I mean, we're not only just concerned about delivering lectures, but again, your well-being as well. Because, I mean, in your absence, then what would I be doing here? Standing in front of nobody? That is not possible. I'll need somebody to be in class and can be able to teach and help them out.
Because they do that, like, out of the country, when they're still in high school.
Yes.
They call professions, lawyers, doctors, managers, like every.
Yeah, I was surprised that when I was teaching research methodology last year, was it last year? No, I think it was last year. Yeah. There's someone who chose the topic something to do with drug abuse. Yeah, and this person mentioned that here at school it's really high. That there are a lot of people that are really using a lot of drugs. So sometimes you have like your hostels, you need like someone like a matron takes care of you guys, making sure that you're doing the right thing, as you're saying, counseling as well.
I've talked to some friends, but I don't know if my approach was the case, because sometimes the whole approach.
So you
didn't hide that time. You used to. How did you do that?
Yeah.
So he said, pills, I get them. He is very open. He can tell you everything.
Okay.
But
a little drug. Here's the 500 price.
they make you high.
For a long period of time.
Why would you do that? So sometimes it's about problems from home. I think people do that. They don't want to spend most of their time thinking. Like what I do. Even I wouldn't get drugs to make me feel better for the time. Because what if the drugs now is over? I'll still start thinking about it. So that's the way people, that's how people get addicted. Because after the pill is out of your head, you want to
things will still be there.
And then you take other pills again, so that you just stay high all day.
Throughout.
So I don't. But I trust
the healing process. Okay, let's just finish then. You will tell me. Okay, so we can have the oral counseling. So somebody can be counseled about maybe their behavior, and what are the problem areas, how they can improve, and probably also providing them the time frame. Say by such a time, I expect to see some changes. So that is an oral counseling. Another approach of disciplinary is through the written warning. So sometimes maybe you're given a warning letter. So in HR practice, according to the law in Malawi, that I don't know back home, is that you have the first warning, the second, the third time. You don't get another warning for the third time. The third time you do it, that's a dismiss. Okay? So you can have a written warning, and sometimes also people can have a suspension without pay. It can be said, well, no, you've been suspended and you're not going to get your salary. Okay? So that's suspension without pay. Others are given a demotion. So you were at the higher office, now you go below. That's a demotion. So you get a lower grade. And the last one, as I've said, is the dismiss. Okay? So you can see even the steps. This one is the last resort. So it means not every time that people show undesirable or unacceptable behavior, we should just reach the process of dismissal. We should also try other methods, as counseling and warnings and all that, just to make sure that we're giving them a chance. Any questions? What we are sharing? So,